My name is Gavin Grimm, and I'm from Gloucester, Virginia. I first and foremost also want to thank the American Federation of Teachers. This conference is one that I feel is incredibly important to have, especially during these times, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. Now, some of you are familiar with my story, and some may not be. My story is in many ways like the stories of all young people. I think we all struggle to come to terms with who we are in one way or another. But unlike many young people, my local school board stepped in to complicate my ability to be myself and to enjoy the same rights that my peers enjoy every day. In the summer of 2014, I came out to my family as transgender. This was just before my sophomore year of high school. My mother and I approached the school and stressed to my principal the importance of attending school as Gavin. He agreed, and not long after starting school, I asked that I be able to use the boys' room. I had initially asked to do so because I was fearful of my peers' reaction, but I found that quickly I had nothing to fear, and it was stigmatizing and needlessly time-consuming to use an alternate restroom. My principal allowed me, and for 7 weeks, I used the boys' room without incident. But, without warning, my school board decided to publicly discuss my bathroom usage without notifying me or my family twice. We had less than 24 hours to prepare for these meetings, or the first meeting after we found out on social media. Ultimately, my school board decided to ban me from the boys' room. That's when the American Civil Liberties Union got involved. With the ACLU's help, I filed a federal discrimination complaint with the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Department of Education. And 6 months later, we sued the Gloucester County Public School Board in federal court for violating my rights under Title IX and the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. My only options at school were to use the girls' restroom or a gender-neutral restroom. There are only 3 gender-neutral restrooms in the school, and 2 of them were converted broom closets, and I expect the irony is not lost on this room. The final one was in the nurse's office. They were all far from my classes that year, and regardless, it's stigmatizing and it's discrimination. I had to either hold it or run the risk of being late to class because I had to run across the entire school just to use the bathroom, and it singled me out even more. When I was in that part of the school, everybody knew exactly why I was there. I sometimes heard whisper or laughter behind my back or caught just enough of a sidelong glance or a conversation to know what it was about. I got stress headaches when I went to school, and sometimes, often, to avoid all the attention and discomfort, I didn't go at all. My case worked its way up through the federal court system, and the Obama administration's Department of Justice backed me up, filing briefs supporting me and other transgender students. But then in October, we learned that the Supreme Court would hear my case and rule on whether trans students have a right to under Title IX to use restrooms and locker rooms that match our gender identity. Unfortunately, though, in March, the Trump administration announced that it would no longer support the position that Title IX guidance protects transgender students. Not long after that, the Supreme Court decided that my case should go back to the Fourth Circuit to be reconsidered. The argument date is set for the 12th of September in this year. Since the beginning of this process, I have spoken with countless educators, students, and school administrators. I've heard stories of supportive schools, and with it, tales of flourishing students rising to their fullest potential when who they are is not a point of everyday contention within the school environment. Unfortunately, I have also heard the opposite. A man recently approached me and told me that his son had been suspended for using the boys' room at school. That is devastating, and that is unacceptable. Support from teachers and educators is crucial and should extend to all school staff. It should be the rule, not the exception, to have a comprehensive and accessible system in place that welcomes and supports transgender students and welcomes and supports all students. It should be a part of basic, mandatory staff training to know how to respect a transgender student. There are many things children should not have to worry about when they walk into school each morning. Chief among this list is things like, where will I use the bathroom and how many times will I be misgendered today? I am no longer a student in high school. I have graduated, but in my mind, this changes nothing. This fight is bigger than me. This fight is for other transgender youth at my high school. It's for other trans youth in Virginia. It is for all trans youth in America who are in school or who one day will be. It is for anyone who wants these children to be happy and healthy rather than at risk and in danger, as so many trans people are. Thank you to everyone here. It means you are being a part of this conversation and therefore a part of the effort to make schools a safe haven for children, trans or not. And thank you again to the American Federation of Teachers for helping to facilitate this conversation in such a dynamic and vital way.